Joining us now is Mike Fish, ESPN investigative reporter. I saw the headline, and certainly sounded juicy. Millions from Phil Mickelson tied to money laundering gambling case. Mike joins us now.
Hey, Dan.
Is there a there, Mike, with this story?
I think there's a lot of questions, obviously. What's going on as far as the money, who's involved, who Silveria is, how deeply Phil Mickelson is involved, and who else might be involved, and, what the offshore site is. It's interesting, this case dragged on for 5 years. It goes back to 2010. It appears the statute of limitations had either run out or was on the verge of running out. There's no written indictment in the case. Silveria has not given up anybody else. So, yeah, there's a ton of questions, obviously.
Is there any chance that he's, deeper involved? It didn't feel like that he'll be charged with anything. They normally go after the gambling site as opposed to the gambler himself.
Yeah, they're going after the enterprise or the site or the key people. I think that in the money laundering thing, again, I'm not a legal expert, but my understanding is that in a money laundering situation, if they could have found that somehow Phil was directly involved, if they had emails, if they had, voice recordings or something like that, or if he had been complicit in the concealment. But I think absent of any direct evidence, that doesn't appear that anybody else would be charged, to be honest.
As far as, how is it defined as money laundering?
It's concealment of the money in the funds. He basically, this Silveria, according to documents, moved this money around over the course of 2 or 3 days. I think there was like 2 or 3 bank transfers where he put it in one account in Wells Fargo and in his own account, and the next day he put it in another account of his in Wells Fargo, and the next day he took it out and put it in a J.P. Morgan Chase bank account. So it's just moving the money around, trying to, I guess, hide it. I mean, it seems pretty simplistic and pretty simple and, amateurish, because the understanding I have is that banks obviously have mechanisms that trigger when those sums of money are moved that quickly. Those are questions that would, obviously we'd love to have answered.
PGA Tour involved in this?
I spoke to folks there late yesterday afternoon. I asked them what kind of reaction they had. They had no reaction or no comment to the story. And I asked them, a simple question just in terms of what kind of procedures they had in place or policies related to gambling. They wouldn't discuss it. I know other sports obviously do have policies in place. The PGA, again, I don't know what they are. I haven't seen anything in writing that they have. They may have something.
Well, you can bet on yourself at the British Open if you want.
Well, I wouldn't do that, but yeah.
But I think guys have.
Yeah.
I don't know if Phil has.
Well, what didn't Rory McIlroy's dad do it or something?
Yeah, a couple of years ago about his son winning a major by the age of 20.
Yeah, by the
something.
age of, there was a certain age that he'd done like several years ago or something. Yeah.
Is there anything? Is there any more fallout with this, or is this where it stops and then there's just speculation, rumor, innuendo?
Well, obviously, we'd like to find out, answers to some of the questions we have. I don't know if we'll get the answers or what will happen, but obviously, I think we'll make an effort. I mean, certainly.
Has Phil? Now he's got the British Open coming up, so
yeah, his folks aren't talking. Their explanation is they don't know who Silveria is. They were unaware of this. I spoke to his personal attorney, and he obviously was unaware of this, and said that, in fact, there was another attorney that was working this particular case. He wouldn't identify who he was, but it's hanging out there, I guess. But to this point, they have had no response.
Mike, thanks. We appreciate you joining us.
Okay. Hey, my treat. You be good.
All right. That's Mike Fish, ESPN investigative reporter.